Okay, now let's move on to a few different types of proofs. Still looking at parallel lines and transversal. So here is a theorem that you need to copy in your notes. If two angles form a linear pair, they are supplementary. So a linear pair, remember, creates a line. You can see the word line and linear. So angle 1 and angle 2 are a linear pair. Angle 1 and angle 3 are a linear pair. Angle 2 and angle 4 are a linear pair, and so on. So if we know we have two angles that are a linear pair, then we can conclude they are supplementary. Remember, a line measures 180 degrees. The definition of supplementary angles is two angles whose sum of their measure is 180. Now, to be a linear pair, you do need to be adjacent. The angles need to be adjacent, but to be supplementary, it just means two angles that add up to 180. Congruent supplement theorem, if two angles are supplement to the same angle, then they are congruent. If two angles are supplement to the same angle, then they are congruent. So if angle 1 and angle 2 are supplement and angle 1 and angle 3 are supplement, then we can conclude that angle 3 and angle 2 are congruent because they're both supplement to angle 1. So let's go ahead, and it says line L is parallel to line M, and this is the given. So I'm going to go ahead and notate that in my diagram with the feather notations. We want to prove that 3 and 5 are supplementary. So this one is going to be a little bit longer than the previous ones. So since these two lines are parallel, I do know we can start out saying that angle 1 and angle 5, they are corresponding, so they are congruent. So put then angle 1 is congruent to angle 5 because of corresponding angles are congruent. And again, there is so many ways you could prove that 3 and 5 are supplementary, but I think what we need to do is prove that they are a linear pair. Okay, the next thing that now listen, since we're talking about supplementary, that word means that we need to look at actual angle measurements because we know that it totals a measure of 180. So if two angles are congruent, then we know the measures of their angles are equal. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 5, and that's just the definition of congruent angles. So this is bringing more into the fact of the actual angle measurement. And again, when we're using supplementary, we know that it's the two measurements that equal 180. Okay, so now let's look to see what else we know up here. So we know that angle 1 and angle 3, so we have the fact 5 and 1 are congruent. The relationship between 1 and 3 is they are supplementary. So angle 1 and angle 3 are supplementary angles. And the reason for that is because linear angles are supplementary. Okay, these are linear. So linear angles are supplementary. Okay, so we have 1 and 5 are congruent. 1 and 3 are supplementary. So if we know that these are supplementary, we know something about their actual measurement. So the measurement of angle 1 plus the measurement of angle 3 equals 180 degrees. And that's just the definition of supplementary angles. Okay, and we can also say that angle 3 and angle 5 measure 180 because 1 and 5 are congruent. So if 1 and 3 are supplementary, then we can say that angle 3 and 5 are supplementary. So the measurement of angle 3 plus the measurement of angle 5 equals 180, and that is from the substitution property. We substituted in substitution property. And then since angle 3 and 5 equal 180, hold on. No. Since 3 and 5 are supplementary, then we can say, or since they equal 180, since their measure equals 180, we can say that they are supplementary. The definition of supplement angles. So that one took a good while, but anytime we're using the word supplementary, we will be bringing in the actual measurement. So let's do one more. Number 8. This time, they're telling us angle 3 and angle 5 are supplementary. So they're saying 5 and 3, they're not congruent. So let's mark that differently. But they are, whoops, excuse me. This is the given. So we know that 5 and 6, we can say 5 and 6 are supplementary because they are a linear pair. You have to excuse my dogs. So this is just the definition of a linear pair. So since 3 and 5 are supplementary and 5 and 6 are supplementary, then we can say that angle 3 and angle 6 are congruent. And this is angles supplement to the same angle are congruent. And since 3 and 6 are congruent, we can say, because they are congruent, because in their alternate interior angles, therefore these two lines are parallel. So we're going to use the alternate interior angles converse.